Of course, we are suffering a lot like the rest of the world. But starting from Turkey, Turkish economy, we always have our own problems, which differs a little bit from the rest of the world. And we are actually in a situation like that because in Europe, when you talk about high inflation, until recently, you are talking about 5%, 7%. But in Turkey, we are talking when we say high inflation, more than 50%, sometimes could be even 80%, 90%. And when you reach that level of percentages, you never know what's the real percentage. And then this is causing a very big problem to manage a company, to identify your prices, because you cannot increase your prices in the market as you wish. There's competitiveness, and the salaries is a big problem, and you lose much easily your staff. So this is for Turkey. This is quite a difficult period, and on top of that, as the Turkish government and the central bank is working quite strongly to reduce the inflation, they are holding Turkish lira strong. And this is first time in my life. I've been running the company almost 35 years now. I'm seeing Turkish lira that strong. So this is hurting us on exports. Again, in the exports market, we cannot increase our prices. And so this is not like Turkish Elektrik. All the companies who are good on exports, they are suffering because of the currency exchange rate. And one another important, hopefully, is working on our behalf, is the rate between parity between US dollar and euro. In Turkey, most of the manufacturing companies, our income our income mostly is in euro, but our cost is mostly in US dollar. So when you see the fluctuations in the parity, this is also a very important element for us. Only in January it was, or March it was 102, and today is 115. Tomorrow can be 105. And you are talking a gap, a movement within few months, at least 10, 12, 15%. And nobody has this kind of margin to compensate. So this is another big difficulty, not just for Turkish. This part is also for Europeans. But in our case, as the cost is mostly in US dollar, this is even bigger problem. Coming to the globally problem from a global point of view, there's also very difficult period. And the wars around the world, the American changes in American economy and the decisions, these are all affecting the whole global economy very badly. But I believe the more important for Turkish, and I believe this should be valid also for Europeans or many countries, is the anxiety, because we don't know the future. That's the problem. Today, when I was having my breakfast at the hotel, there were two TVs, one on the right, one on the left. On the right one, there was an article, and it was no sound, but I could read. It was one was CNN, the other one is CNBC, I guess. The headline was saying that Israeli said that they could attack Iran anytime, and they even don't need to ask permission to anyone to do so. And the other television is amazing, a different channel, was like almost a response to that. And Iranians were saying that their missiles are ready to attack all American bases in Europe, so which we also have one in Turkey. So we are living in a world like this. So I think anxiety is the biggest issue for all of us, for our children, for the future of the companies, but more for our families. I think these are the tough days we are going through. electrical motors, which we are not in for the moment, but we can always be involved. This is a matter of investment. Is the biggest threat for us because in electrical motors there is no starters and alternators, which is our main business. But hopefully, when I say hopefully from our point of view, hybrid vehicles, they have starters and alternators, and the electrification is slowed down a little bit. Also, I'm not that much. I care a lot environment, but I don't have real figures. The other question is the future of the batteries, how this electricity is produced. So, but in terms of Lucas Electric, as our main business, we are active in aftermarket for all sectors, but in the original equipment sector, our main activity is for agricultural tractors and industrial machines. So electrification is much is not that big threat for this sector for the moment, and let's say we are okay so far. But in the terms of production, yes, we are digitalizing some manufacturing processes. Although it's not easy because as we make very specific products with small volumes for niche markets, there are many components which we have to make ourselves in-house. It's not easy to find subcontractors. So this is also an obstacle in front of us to use, let's say, robots or AI in manufacturing. But we are trying to digitalize the processes. If I say from the talent retention point of view, which is an interesting question for me because when I took over as the general manager, I was 30 years old. And at that time we were part of Lucas UK, and I was trained in London for a short time at the Reacton and Lucas factory, heavy duty factory. Over there, the engineer who became also my friend obviously later on, who was in charge of me, he was the third generation in Lucas. So his father was retired from Lucas, his grandfather was retired from Lucas, from the same factory, and he finally retired from Lucas. When I came back, and as I count also a lot to humanism, and I believe in people and education, I changed most of the staff and recruited young people, and now after 30 years, almost all of them are still working together with us. So this is a very important point for the factory or the company history and developments. But coming today, to retain the talents is not like in the old days, unfortunately. And there are many reasons. The technology and also anxiety, like I answered your first question. In my times, he said, when I was talking to youngers, I always said, this, if you work hard for the next 5 years, 10 years, you come to that position and this and that. And today, I even don't talk like this to youngsters, because if the guy or girl says to me, yes, but Aytuğ, how do you know what will happen in 10 years? To Lucas Electric, to Turkey, to the world? I don't have any answer for that, unfortunately. So, I appreciate they move a lot, even for their loyalty to their companies are much less than my generation, but I appreciate and I understand it. I don't accuse them at all. So this is a big problem to retain the talents economically, but also, let's say, psychologically, and find the right roles right now. Coming to innovation systems, new systems, we are we are one of the earliest user of ERP systems in Turkey. In fact, even before ERP, there were MRD systems, and Lucas Electric in 90s, when I came back from the UK, we started to use the MRP system, which later on became an ERP system, which we are still using successfully. Now my aim I know there are some systems, but we don't have. I'm waiting for the right time. Is there to marry our ERP systems with AI-based systems, so that you can all the outputs of the system can be analyzed by a artificial intelligence platform to get the better results. I know there are many companies working on that. Today, because of world economical problems and property economy, we are those focused, unfortunately, day-to-day problems. But soon, with my team, with my board members, we already discussed this issue, and soon we want to take this on the table to study more seriously and to invest for that. That's it. What can I say for the moment?